In this tutorial, we have a nearly finished drawing that needs a little bit more annotation to it. And the annotation that we're going to be putting on today is multi-line text. Obviously, we've already got certain types of text and annotation on here already, but the multi-line text is really going to enable us to add quite a bit of information as opposed to just sort of one little line here, there and everywhere. We're going to put something a little bit more cohesive in that's going to make a little bit more sense to whoever's trying to read this drawing. So coming up to my Home tab, you'll see if I want to create multi-line text, I've got this very large button in here, which is multi-line text. Now, assuming that everything's been set up, and this example is a little bit of a cheat because it has got a few extra bits and pieces set up, but assuming everything has been set up correctly, we can press multi-line text. We can press the icon and we get an option, multiple or single line. We're going to talk about single line in a moment. So to create multiple line text, all I really need to do is click multi-line text, and you'll see my cursor changes. I can specify the exact point that I want to start from, or I can just left click and then drag out a text box. Now this is a box inside of which our text is going to be written. So I'll left click there, and you can see we've now got what looks like a very small portion of a Word document. Now I'm sure that we've all at some point used Word. So if you've used a word processor before, you should be fairly reasonable at using multi-line text inside of AutoCAD. You'll also notice that up in our ribbon tab, we've got a new, or ribbon bar rather, we've got a new tab up here, and that tab is the text editor tab. So within that, I've got lots of different options here that I can look at for my text styling, which we're going to talk about in a moment. I can change any of the formatting, I can change the paragraph type, I can insert symbols, I've even got a spell check, and I can change dictionaries as well. So really what we've got is quite a lot of information here to help us. So once I've finished with writing my text, if I write just text in there, once I'm done I just press close, and I'll close the text editor, and you can see there we've now got a piece of, now I know I didn't do multi-line text, that was just a one word, just gives you an idea of how it works. So if I just delete that and I come down here to my drawing, and we'll take this a little bit more seriously, what we've got here is a title block, and it's going to need some extra information in it. Okay, so the place where we're going to put that is just up here. What we're going to do is we're just going to put an address in. Okay, very, very simple. We'll start with multi-line text, pick multi-line, and I'm just going to drag my box out so that it pretty much fits that window. And I'll start with my first line. We'll say 300 Smith Street, and because we're in the UK we'll say London, Southwest 1, I don't know, 5RG, just assuming that that's a made up. Actually what I need to do is I need to delete that, and I need to do RG in capitals. There we go, that's better. So that's multi-line text. All I did once I got to the end here was I pressed enter, carried on typing, and that really finished my text. Now that I'm done with that, I'll close it, and I'll close the text editor. And if I need to move that down slightly and over to the right, I'll go to my move tool, and I'll select my text, and right click. And because I'm just going to do this as a random point, all I'm going to do is move that down and to the right slightly. There we go, and press enter. And that's just sort of centered that a little bit better. There you go, you see we've added our multi-line text onto our title block. If I want to, I can add a little bit more detail into there. So I'll make another multi-line text box. that in just here. Oh, where are we? Just there. Now this time I want the text to be a lot smaller. So I'm either going to pick from here, but I haven't got anything to really pick because there's nothing set up other than just 6. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to change that by other means. And what that will be is I'm just going to click in this box. You see, so we haven't got any other options, so I'll just have to click in there. And I'll type 3 and enter. And now my text is going to be at a size 3. So what I'll do is I'll put in here telephone 0800 555 555. We'll be very American about this, and I'll also say fax 0800 554 555. There we go. All sounds very American, doesn't it? And what I've done there is I've created multi-line text again, but I've changed the size of it. So I had it as a different size this time. Again, well, you've got to be careful. Don't press enter to exit it. Remember, you just press close and close the text editor. And maybe I'll take off my snaps and I'll just move this up a little bit. There we go, that's a little bit better. So I've created here 2 separate elements of text, both of them multi-line text, and both of them with slightly different properties. So that's really just how we create very quickly and very simply multi-line text.